Let's talk about Ash's Larvitar. When Larvitar was still a little egg, it was stolen by hunters from a Pokemon reserve in Mount Silver. However, during the escape, the box carrying the egg fell into the river and continued its journey. Then it was rescued and taken to a laboratory. And after that, Professor Elm asked Ash and his friends to go there to collect the egg and take it to Professor Elm's laboratory. Ash then takes the Larvitar egg from Professor Naomi and heads towards his destination. But during the journey, the egg ended up hatching, and a little Larvitar was born. Unfortunately, the little one's health was very poor, so Ash and his friends had to take it to the nearest Pokemon Center. Once there, they discovered that the reason for its discomfort was the Larvitar's low body temperature. To make matters worse, the Pokemon Center lost power, thanks to Team Rocket breaking the generator, making it impossible to use the heater. But Ash and Cyndaquil managed to keep Larvitar warm for the rest of the night. The next day, he woke up much better, and Ash introduced the enormous Pokemon world to the little Larvitar. Impressed, Larvitar had his first impressions of what the world was really like, and observing how beautiful nature was, he became quite happy and emotional. Unfortunately, Team Rocket arrived and interrupted this beautiful moment. They grabbed Ash, and Larvitar ended up falling to the ground. However, outraged by the situation, Larvitar used the move Hidden Power and single-handedly defeated Team Rocket. The little guy had just been born, was in poor health, and yet he managed to throw an extremely heavy truck far away. This Pokemon is simply incredible. After all this confusion, Professor Elm asked Ash to take Larvitar to the Pokemon Reserve in Mount Silver. And during the time the little one traveled alongside our protagonist, they became great friends, and Ash became very attached to Larvitar. In a certain episode, Larvitar befriends an unknown. And thanks to this unknown, Ash and his friends are able to access Larvitar's memories. For those who don't know, this species of Pokemon has the ability to read the thoughts of other creatures, and it can also access their memories. So, we discover what really happened to Larvitar when it was still a small egg. Larvitar was stolen from its Tyranitar mother and taken by the terrible hunters. Arriving at Mount Silver, our heroes found Larvitar's mother, but she was not very friendly and attacked them with a hyper beam. Ash tries to leave the Larvitar on the ground and run away, but the Larvitar refused to leave Ash's side and clung to Pikachu's tail. Luckily for them, the little Larvitar started crying, and its mother Tyranitar realized that it was her stolen baby. In the end, Larvitar was finally reunited with its mother, but the sad part is that now it had to say goodbye to Ash. I believe we all really wanted to see Ash with a Tyranitar. It would be so epic.